Hi, my name's Jerry. I've been running about 8 years now, and been through most of that time. I've experienced more than my fair share of injuries. About 2 years ago, I developed what was initially treated as plantar fasciitis in my left foot. I went through all the standard treatments of rest, night splints, shots, seeing podiatrists and everything like that. Saw no improvement. Eventually, my regular running doctor decided that it was Baxter's nerve entrapment, not plantar fasciitis, and basically told me that, we can operate, but it doesn't have a very good success rate. So I decided to not go with anything like that. I've been living with that pain for the past 2 years. It doesn't really get any better unless the only time it does get any better is if I run barefoot. So for the past year and a half, I've been running barefoot. Been doing it, actually had a lot of success with it. I initially had a stress fracture, but that was from trying to run in Vibram 5 fingers, which I'm not a big fan of. But anyway, I did get a stress fracture from that. I recovered from it, took up barefoot running, and haven't really looked back. I've been able to work myself up to 40-mile weeks, which for a guy my age, I feel is pretty good. And considering, a couple of years back, I could barely run 12 miles. So anyway, 12-mile weeks, and so I feel pretty good about that. Anyway, what led to this current injury was I went out for a run on a trail using what are called huaraches, or Mexican running shoes, except these are the American version, which is basically a flat piece of Vibram with nylon cords. And the day I decided to do this trail run, it was quite slippery and the trail was quite wet and hilly. And my foot saw a lot of movement in the huaraches to the point that I developed some sores on the top of my foot. But anyway, my foot was sliding around in them quite a bit. And as the run progressed, my foot got painful. And where the pain is, and I'll show you where the pain is and where it's been since this happened. The pain is basically in these two toes here on the very top, not on the bottom, but on the top of these toes. And that's the way it starts. It starts there and then works its way up the foot. Eventually, it'll get about this high on my ankle if I keep running. And so anyway, as far as treatment, I went and saw my doctor about it. He basically told me to quit running for a week, took a week off, tried running, went for a very short run, and after about a quarter mile, it started with the pain in the toes and started working its way up, so I stopped. And the so I went back and I saw him, and at that point, he took and he shot some lidocaine in to this spot right here, and he had me go out and run, and I came back and I said, well, that's not any better, and he said, well, good, because if it had been better, I would have thought maybe stress fracture. So then he shot lidocaine up in this section right here, which actually had been pretty painful, and he had me go for a run. I came back and I told him, yes, I was running, that it felt really good. So then he shot me with cortisone right there. Looking back, I'm really not so certain that what happened really wasn't more the lidocaine had worked its way over and around the whole top of the foot. That's why I was feeling relief. So anyway, he shot the cortisone in it, and he told me, or he asked me not to run for a week, which I listened to him. And at the end of the week, I went for a run, and the same thing, went about a quarter mile, my toes started aching, and I ended up, was able to go maybe another quarter mile, stopped. And the funny thing was, it felt like something was stuck to the bottom of my toes, and there wasn't anything there. So it took me about another week to get in and see him again, and that was actually yesterday, and we talked, and basically he said that he believes it's a nerve entrapment, which is kind of scary because I'm already living with one of those in my left foot. His advice to me was to, if doing something hurts, don't do it. If it doesn't hurt, then do it. Which I guess I'm just a little nervous about that advice. It's basically what I did with my left foot, and my left foot never got any better. And I guess I'm just nervous to do the same thing with my right foot. You know, I'm just afraid to do that. Now, I can get the pain to come on quite quickly. It doesn't necessarily take me running. In one of two things, I can either go down a set of stairs with the front half of my foot hanging over. So basically, or over the front step. If I do that barefoot, the front half of my foot, so I'm basically landing on my arch. That will make the foot painful. Also, if I put my foot basically in a Z where my foot is directly underneath my knee, and if I put any kind of pressure up here on my knee, so I'm actually, like in this case, I'm leaning on my knee. If I do this, and then I start flexing my toes up, bringing my toes up, the pain will come on quite rapidly. In fact, I've done this, probably 8, 9 times, 10 times, and I am feeling it pretty good already. All I'm doing is flexing up my toes. I'm easily able to recreate the pain that way. So if you have, if it's something that you think you might be able to help with, I sure appreciate it. So I'll try and, any help is appreciated. Thanks a lot.